So here we're going to review some decimals, how to name decimals, what you would call them, and kind of our place value within them. So I have two numbers written here, and if we were to read those numbers, we would read them 783 and 81, and the 0 would kind of be useless. But what we can do is actually, we can add a decimal point. And now, we would read the numbers as decimals, which will be slightly different, and that's going to be exactly why you need that 0 there. It has like a placeholder to indicate our place values. In this case, we read the number exactly the same. So we would say 783, except you'd have to identify what place value is the 3 in. Oh, that's in the thousandth place. So we would go ahead and we would call it 783 thousandths. S-A-N. This is tricky. T-H-S, thousandths. And then next to it, this would be what we call the hundredths. I'm just going to indicate this, kind of not spelling it out. Hundredths, and then you have your tenths. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And if the decimal just ended, say we got rid of this 3 here, this would just be read 78 hundredths, which is actually pretty close to 783 thousandths. You could actually just, instead of having the 3, 78 hundredths is the same as 780 thousandths, because we can just add repeating zeros onto the end of a decimal, maintain the exact same value, but that might change what we call it. Let's go ahead and name this one down here. So you had the 0 here, but this would just be called 81, and again, it would be the thousandths, because we are in the thousandths place. Where's my pointer? There it is. Okay, so it would be the thousandths. That's how we can name decimals. So now, where I really want to focus this lesson on is comparing. How do we compare decimals? So if you're looking at these two, and you see 783 thousandths and 83 thousandths, it's the same way as you would compare regularly. You start at the furthest place value to the left, and you compare, and you say, okay, well, they both have nothing in the ones. Then we go back down over here to the right, we go to the tenths place value, and we see a 7 and a 0. Oh, well, 7's greater than 0, so we know that we can say 783 thousandths is greater than 83 thousandths. And that's just the straightforward way to do it. This does get a little tricky. It gets a little tricky, and I'll show you an example where it can be tricky. So in this example, if you were to read these numbers, your top number here would be read 7/10. Okay? Your bottom number would be read 792 thousandths. So you're trying to figure out which one is greater. That can be tricky. But really, it's the same thing. You're going to start here at the left. I have nothing in the ones place. This would be 0 is equal to 0. 7 is equal to 7. And I have nothing here. Remember, with decimals, you can extend it out as far as you want to the right, and it doesn't change the value. I could even just keep going with those zeros. But now I have 700 thousandths compared to 792 thousandths. And just saying that, oh, 792, that's greater than 700. So 700 thousandths would be less than, or 7/10ths would be less than 792 thousandths. This number here is your bigger number. And there we go. So that's just a quick overview of how to say and then compare decimals.